you have your physical nature, the physical body. And the physical body has its own wisdom. And the wisdom that it's following is to survive and to reproduce. That's its wisdom. That's its direction. And it inherited a fantastic wisdom because it's wiser than you are. For example, you don't know how to make a baby. You don't know how to tell your bones to repair themselves. You don't know how to send a direction to a nearby cell that never was a bone and say, okay, you have a new job description. I need you to become bone because I need bodies on the ground here. We need to repair this bone. You don't know how to turn blood into a scab. You don't know how to do any of that. So the body does, though, and it has this amazing, amazing wisdom. So the body, for you, as you're sitting here as a personality, is an entryway to the God nature that you seek. Because where does that wisdom come from? So that's the body. And the body is kind of like your car, right? So then life gets breathed into this body. So we have the human personality that inhabits the body, which is kind of like the make of the car. So for example, you can have the car, you can have a Porsche, right? So that's the make of the car. And then you could have a Toyota, and they're very different kinds of cars. You have a different expectation of the car, you expect it to perform differently, you expect it to do different things. So they have a different personality, right? So there's the Toyota personality versus the Porsche personality. They're really different to the Tesla personality, to the Prius personality, to the Fiat personality, right? So you're just getting a sense of what we're dealing with. And then we have the human soul. So this is the energy that is here to kind of govern and be the bridge to your spirit nature. Okay, and so then we have our oversoul, and there's different language for this. I'm just using, there's many different labels that we can use. I'm just using the language that I'm comfortable with. Then we have the oversoul. And the oversoul is like our mini version, our own personal version of the God mind. So it's as if the God mind fragmented itself. It's as if you had a glass pane. Okay, many metaphors. I think in metaphor as well, Greg. Okay, stick with one. Okay, so it's as if you had a glass pane, and then you smashed it and you had all these fragments of glass. So it's not separate from the whole window itself, but it contains the whole. It's not separate from the window. So you have your own little fragment of God mind that integrates with the human soul. Then you have your, so coming back to, just follow, bear with me with my metaphors, but coming back now to the car, so then you have the juice, which is like the petrol where I come from, or the gas. So then you have that, and that's God's love. So then you have the force of love that flows through you. Okay. So then your personality is navigating this life through the physical body, and it experiences itself. So it experiences itself as the body, as emotions, and as thoughts. So the archetypes, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail later, but the archetypes exist in the realm of the soul. It doesn't actually exist yet in the realm of mind, but it gets filtered down through the personality and it gets acted out through the personality as the body. You experience it emotionally and you experience it as your thoughts. So the archetypes will speak to you in different languages and have a different point of view. They have a different world view. Okay, so we're following it so far. You're getting a sense of what you are. This is important because one of the human beliefs, the strong beliefs, out of that fragmentation, the mind made it mean I am separate. And then out of that came lament. I'm alone. And out of that came the feeling that there's something missing, that I'm not whole, because I'm this fragment. And this is the point of our suffering. But it's important to realize, or it's important to remember, that we're not alone. That you have your own soul, you have your oversoul, you have a spark, the spark of God's mind, you have God's love flowing through you, and you have your very own seraphim. You have your very own angel. So this is important to get in the beginning, in the very beginning. Because the next time that you think to yourself, I'm lonely, I'm alone, if this relationship doesn't work out, I'm going to die alone. You can remember, you can have a little giggle now. You can giggle inside and say, oh my gosh, that's such a funny thought. Look at me believing something that isn't true. Silly.